All right, and everybody can hear me okay, I think. Let me put the volume up a little bit. You can hear the music too, maybe a little. All right, let's start. Let me get in the picture here. And all right, so let's just sit on our mat and let's just kind of get grounded and get into the present. If you're anything like me, I have that monkey mind, it's constantly going. So let's just do what's comfortable for you. I like to put my right hand on my heart, my left hand on my solar plexus, right over my belly button there. And let's just take some breaths. And as you breathe, I like to breathe in through my nose, out through my mouth. You can do an audible breath to like let go of all the things you don't need. And so I breathe in and I hold for a couple counts, 1, 2, 3, and then exhale through my mouth. And it's nice to count because it then kind of clears your mind a little bit. I always like to do 2 more breaths out than in. So inhale, hold, and exhale. Let's just do this a couple more times. Inhale, hold, and exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, hold, and exhale. And 1 more time. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Okay, roll your wrists and roll them the other way. And then we're gonna put our fingers on our shoulders and we're gonna twist to the left. If you can look over your left shoulder, great. If not, keep your head in line with your torso or just look to the left. Come center and go the other way. Come back. And again to the right. And 1 more time, left and right. Okay, let's take our right hand. Our right hand's on the ground, our left hand's overhead, and let's just lean to the right. And if you want to pulse a couple times, do. And we're going to go the opposite way. Sorry. Erica kind of knocked out. I don't know what happened. Let's see here. Okay. And so let's go this way. And let's go the other way. And 1 more time this way. And the opposite way. Okay, let's take our left hand, put it on our right, on the outside of our right knee, and put it behind and just twist. I like to push against my right knee, but don't overdo it. And again, you can look where your torso is, look to the right, or look over your right shoulder. Come back, and right hand on the left knee, right arm behind, and twist. And come back to center. And then let's just roll. And let's go in the opposite direction. And so you have your legs in like a butterfly, we call it, and then just flap your wings. And bring your knees up and put your feet to the edges of the mat. And this is going to help our hips, so we're just going to drop them in one direction and the other. And in the other. And use your breath. Inhale and exhale. And one more time. Okay. Let's get up and work our feet, and then we'll come back down on the mat. So let's grab our rolling pin or our stick here. And we're going to do our shoulders after we do our feet. And let's grab a ball also. A tennis ball or a little ball like this. And we're going to put our left arch across. And we're just going to lean into it. Inhale for 4, exhale. And find another spot and do it again. And release, and one more time. And then let's roll our foot side to side. And then let's roll. And then let's roll from the arch to the ball of the foot. And then let's do the entire foot. And sometimes I like to roll the inside and outside edges. Okay, and now let's do the other foot, same thing. So put your arch across and put some weight on it. Inhale to 4, exhale and release. And find another spot and the same thing. And one more time. Then roll. Side to side. And then roll from the arch to the heel. And from the arch to the ball of the foot. And let's do the entire foot. Okay. And then let's take the ball and just have it on the mat here, but we'll start with just having your feet hip distance apart, and then we're going to lift our toes and spread them. And again. One more time. And then let's lift our heel. You might hear some cracking and popping. And then let's take the ball, put the ball a little foot there and squeeze and release, squeeze and release. And one more time. And then roll. And let's do the other one, same thing. Squeeze and release, squeeze and release, squeeze and release, and roll. Okay, take the ball over to the side. And then let's work our shoulders a tiny bit. So we're going to do that. Do that far up. Let's do the Y, W, T, L. So go up, press back, and we hold, and we release. Make sure your shoulders are down, and go back, and release, and one more time, and release. And come to cactus arms. I like to spread my fingers. I'm gonna do the same thing. Press back and hold. When you're pressing back, it's like you're bringing your shoulder blades together. And release. Keep your elbows up. You saw mine were dropping. And release one more time. And release. Bring those arms out into a T position. Same thing. Back. And release. Back. And one more time. And now elbows into your waist. Fingers are still spread.
Unknown caller.
Sorry about that. Elbows are into the waist. Arms go back. And release again. And let's do it one more time. Then let's bring our arms to 45 degrees from our hips, and again, press back. And release again. And release, and one more time. And release. Let's take our fingers, intertwine them. Let's just press down. Press out. Press overhead. And then we're going to have our hands, back of the hands facing forward. I'm going to lift my left hand and I'm going to press back. Both of them are going to go back, bringing shoulder blades together. And come down again. Back. And again. And one more time each side. So I have my feet a little bit wider than hip distance, probably shoulder distance apart. And I'm going to reach my arms up. I'm going to grab my left hand with my right. I'm going to lean over to the right. Make sure you don't come forward. Stay back. I'm going to come up. I'm going to cross my leg over. Grab now the right with your left and lean over the opposite way. And come up and come down. Now let's do the same thing. This time we're going to come up, grab the right wrist with the left hand and lean over to the left. You don't want to come up. You don't want your shoulder to come forward. You want to really go to the side so you're feeling a stretch in the side body. Now we're going to come up. Now we're going to cross the right leg over. We're going to change the grip and lean over to the right this time. Come up and come down. And then let's bend, have our feet hip distance apart and come forward. And just hang. And shake your head, yes. And shake it, no. And grab your elbows and swing side to side. And you can do the same thing if you're sitting in a chair. Bend your knees and roll up. And let's roll our shoulders back. And let's roll them forward. Okay. Now let's come back down on our mat here. Okay, we're coming back down on our mat. And if you can, come on your knees, great. If you can't come on your knees, that is okay too. Well, actually, before we come down on our mat, we do have these. Yeah, before we come down on our mat, let's do these 3 poses that Paul Dennison talks about. The first one is called the Phoenix. And as we move through our grief and our losses, sometimes we open and expand, and other times we contract. And the truth is, we may need to do both for a while. So at times, you may want to turn away from and deny your grief. And denial is the act of moving from reality to distraction. It's okay to get distracted. Sometimes we need to do that. You can touch the pain and then walk away from it. Use this technique to curl around it and absorb it. So what he does, so again, you're hip distance apart with your feet. You come up and you come up and you open up. And then you come to what they call a half. So I'm keeping my back straight, and it's calling a half forward fold. But then you're gonna go down, bend your knees and try to touch the ground. If you're in a chair, you can do the same thing. And so you're in kind of look like a frog. And then you slowly come up. And then we do that again. Okay, so we come up, inhale, arms up. And exhale, open up. And then come down to a half fold. And then you're gonna go all the way down. And you're gonna roll up. And let's do that again. So go up and open up. And come down to a half, bend, and then go all the way down. And roll up. And let's do that one more time. So we come up and out. Come in to a half fold. And all the way down. And then come up. Okay. And then the next one we have is a pendulum. And this one is about balance. And this move tests your balance. And we need to try to find stability and balance. And with grief knocks us off our balance. And so this kind of, and it's funny because sometimes you can be more balanced on one side than the other. So this is an important move to do. And hold on. It's perfectly okay to hold on to something if you need to. And so again, we have our feet hip distance apart. And let's start with our right side. So the one thing that's important is you don't want the left hip to go out when we take our weight off the right. You don't want this to happen because you won't be balanced. So what we do is, this is all pulled in, and we're in alignment. You know, our hips are not going forward or back, they're straight, everything's straight. And we're just gonna take our foot, so all the weight is in the left foot, and we're just gonna swing our foot forward and back. Now, you could go forward, touch down, and back, touch down, or you can swing it back and forth. And you can certainly hold on to something. And let's do it one more time. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing with the other foot. So again, this hip pulled in, come off, all the weight is on this foot, and again, you're going to swing forward and back. And if you have to touch down in the middle, there's nothing wrong with that. And one more time. Okay, and now we're going to go to the side. So same thing, feet are hip distance apart. I'm going to start with this one, so make sure this hip is in. And we're going to go side. And again, you can just touch down. And be careful because you don't want to lean too much over. You want to try to keep your torso straight. So again, let's try that. So again, this hip is pulled in. And take this foot off the ground. Great. And while we're here, let's roll our hips. I think they need to be rolled. Now let's go the other way. And then let's bring our feet together and let's bend and straighten our knees. Should feel a little stretch in your calf. And then let's roll them in one direction. And let's roll in the other direction. Okay, and then I have one more standing one. Now this one, we've never done this one before, but I thought it was really kind of interesting. And Paul calls this one the circle of life. And the circle of life refers to how everything is born and dies. Every flower, every plant, every person, whatever lives has an end, unfortunately. But the circle of life also reminds us of our wholeness, for just as a circle is complete and without end, so are we. We come into this world whole and we continue to live in it whole and we leave it whole. And I'm telling you, that kind of gets me through the whole thing that our spirit never dies, really. And that's not from a religious point of view, from a kind of a psychic point of view, I guess. So the way this one goes is we take one arm first, so our feet are like shoulder distance apart. And open this up a little bit so you can see me. So let's take our left arm, and this arm can be at our side, and we lift it up and we make it go around our body and bring it back at our side. And then we take the right and we make it go around our body and back at our side. Then we take both of our arms and so we do this 3 times. Around, 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 other way, around, around. Go in and out, in and out. One more time, in and out, other side. And then we come down, we bring our arms overhead, have them come into our heart center, go up and down and back. Do that 3 times. Okay, let's do the whole thing. And we end with our hands over our heart. So we take our left arm and let's go around our body. And you can move with it if you want. If you want to get really into it, you can go down. And then let's take the other one around. And then let's take it in and out. And the other one in and out. And then bring our arms in and go out. And again around. And one more time. And let's just put our hands over our heart center. Okay. Now let's come down on our mats. And let's just, if you can, get on your hands and knees. And we're just gonna really quickly, they call this the swan. So I have my shoulders over, and you can do this seated also. So I have this shoulder over my wrist, elbow creases go forward, hips over my knees. And the way we do this, a lot of times people just drop your belly and lift your chin as you inhale, exhale, round your belly, and chin goes to chest. But one of the other ways you can do it is you go back and you bring your elbows in and you reach up, breathe, inhale, and exhale, you come back. And we can do this 3 times. Inhale. And now if you're doing this seated, you could do the same thing where you inhale, roll your shoulders back, and you can use your arms. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Okay? And if you are on your hands and knees, so let's do that again. So we go inhale and exhale. And one more time. Inhale and exhale. Now, if you are on the mat, bring your knees out. If you're in a chair, again, you're sitting and bring your knees out. And if you're in a chair, you're just gonna lean forward. If you're on your mat here, you're just gonna come forward. Now this will stretch out your lower back. And you can rock side to side if you like. You could put your head in your fists, on the backs of your hands or on the mat, whatever feels comfortable to you. Now, you're going to walk over the right leg. I'm going to put my torso over my thigh, stretch my arms out, twist a little bit to the right, take my left hand, put it over my right. When you do that, and you don't have to do that if it's too much, but when you do that, you get an increased stretch in your side body. And you're also trying to keep your left glute on your heel. It's going to come up a little bit, but that's okay. And then let's walk to the center. And now walk over to the left side. Same thing. Torso over. Twist to the left a little bit. Take your right hand, put it on top of your left. Should feel a nice stretch when you do that. And if you can't, that's fine. You don't have to. Come back to center. And one more. Lower back open. Okay, come up. I need to get my glasses adjusted. They keep on falling off my face. All right, now we're going to roll out our calves. I do this morning stretch on Senior Planet with this guy who's a Reiki person. He says it's really important to work our calves. He says the calves help with so many things. So I decided it's probably a good idea. I have tight calves. I have tight hamstrings. So we're going to put the ball in the fleshy part of the calf there. I put it on a block to just lift that up. I think it makes it a little bit more intense, but don't let it be painful, okay? You could cross your foot over if you need a little bit more pressure, but that's enough, just like that, just leave it. And let's just take 3 breaths right here. Oh, you can't see me very well. Okay. So again, fleshy part of the calf. And point and flex. I also read that like doing this to the calf also helps with circulation, you know, swelling in your ankles, and circulation in your legs. Which would take away my spider veins. And the other way, so I'm rolling. All right, and roll your wrist. Okay, and then let's do the other one. Same thing. If you feel like crossing over, you can. If it's too much, don't do it. It's a little bit much for me today. Let's take 3 breaths right here. Let it get some acupressure on that calf. And then we're going to point and flex. And then roll. And the opposite way. And then roll that ball over that calf. And then roll in a circle in one direction and the other. Okay. And again, roll your wrist in the opposite way. Take the ball and let's just put it in our knee. If that is too much for you, you don't have to do that, and you can just pull your knee into your chest as you're sitting up straight. So it just kind of helps. Again, you're doing some work with the calf. And release. So now we're going to do the other one, same thing. And release. Now let's take our roller. And if you can, roll back. You might hear cracking and popping. Push your knee, push your the roller with your heels to your glutes. You're going to lift your glutes and place this under your, right across your sacrum. And you're going to stretch your legs out and stretch your arms overhead. Okay, and then let's hold the roller. Bring your feet flat, knees are going to the ceiling. Bring your knees into your chest. And you can roll back and forth over the sacrum area. And then you want to press your heels to the ceiling. I have really tight hamstrings, and I find this is a really nice stretch for them. The other thing, in yoga, they talk about legs up the wall. This is another alternative to actually putting your legs up a wall, but you can do that too to stretch your hamstrings. They say it's supposedly really relaxing. And then let's point and flex our feet. And bring your feet down. Again, feet are flat, knees are going up to the ceiling. If you can, roll your shoulders under, lift your glutes, and slowly roll the roller to your heels. And basically what you're doing here is what they call a bridge pose. And then you're going to slowly roll your spine down and come to the side. And then let's come up on our roller and we're gonna just roll out our glutes. And again, you can work your torso if you'd like with the inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. And inhale and exhale. Okay, and then let's just roll out our lower back. Okay, and then we're gonna work our hips. So I'm gonna take my right foot, cross it over my left knee, and I'm gonna push down on it a little bit and just rock it. And then I'm gonna lean into that hip. And when I leaned into it, I felt a little bit of pressure, meaning that it's not necessarily pain, but I know that this muscle where I am right now needs to be worked on. When you lean, if you don't feel anything, roll the roller forward and back and see if you find kind of a tight spot talking to you. And because what we want to do is open that up a little bit. So we're going to come up and we're going to roll into it, kind of like massaging that muscle and just hopefully relaxing the muscle and the fascia a little bit. You can hold your foot if you like. Usually I rock into it 5 times, and then we go down on it, and then we roll forward and back over that all. And so I usually go all the way down to the middle of my glute, and then up almost, not quite to my waist, to get a good roll on that. That muscle in that area. Trying to loosen it up. Okay, I'm going to come up and we're going to go the other way. So this time we're going to put our left foot, and you don't want the knee coming into your chest, so you might have to make your leg go out, and that's fine. And then again, let's rock it a tiny bit. And then again, we're going to roll into that hip. And again, I found the spot that needs a little bit of attention. And you could just rock a little bit if you want. And if you can't find a spot, like I said, roll forward and back. And then we're going to come up, inhale, and exhale as we roll into it. Inhale and exhale. Okay. And then we're going to go down and we're going to roll side to side. Or forward and back, actually. Okay. And then come back up and release. And then you can roll your wrist if you want. We're going to come off of the roller. And then we're going to put the roller across our shoulder blades here. I'm going to intertwine my fingers, put it behind my head, have my elbows out. Should feel a stretch here. And what you could do, if you're up for it, just inch back. And so you might hear like a little cracking and popping. So when I say inch back, I'm inching back. And see if my head could go on the floor. It doesn't, but what it does is it really opens up our chest. And this counters that rolling the shoulders forward. So there you go. And then what we're going to do is bring your heels a little bit closer to your glutes. We're going to raise our glutes, and then we're going to roll from the top of the shoulder blades down our ribs. And so this time your head will probably, top of the head will probably touch the floor, and that's okay. It's kind of what you want. Keep your elbows out though. Okay. goes down, and roll over to the side and come up. Let's put the roller vertically on the mat, and we're gonna try to roll out our entire spine. And so I have my glutes on the roller, and I go all the way back. So my head is on the tube, and just see if you can release your, and if you don't have a roller that'll take your entire spine, you can just lay flat on the mat or wherever you are. Bring your arms into cactus arms. Gravity's pulling them down. And bring them together. Your forearms and your palms. Open up. Again. And one more time. Put your hands flat on the ground. And then we're going to lift them overhead. Palms are going forward. And then put the back of your hands, let them try to fall on the ground. If they don't fall on the ground, that's fine. But you should feel a nice stretch across here, in your armpits, stretching out that whole upper back. And then come down. And then let's do one more where we reach up to the ceiling with our palms facing each other. And go overhead, and come up and back. And now let's just roll side to side. There we go, side to side, and just roll out that back. If you're on the ground, you can roll up a towel or a blanket. And so it simulates the roller, and just roll side to side. Okay, and then come off the roller, and you can put the roller off to the side. Okay, let's lay down on our back. Let's cross our left foot across our right knee. And we're gonna, if you can, lift your right foot off of the ground and pull it into you. You should feel a nice stretch in this left hip. So I have, if you can see that it's not coming in that knee, it's still going flat. And I'm pulling it in. So it's a nice stretch. If you need something under your head, you can put a blanket, or if it feels uncomfortable, like your neck is getting too bent back, you can go like this too. Put your foot down and drop your knees over each other. And then you can grab your shins and pull in. Some people can reach their toes and their feet. If you can just reach your thighs, pull in, so you can hold onto your knees and pull in, so whatever feels comfortable. And again, this kind of goes a little bit deeper into your left thigh, left hip. And release, wind the other one. So now I have my right foot across my left knee. Keep your feet flexed when you do this and pull in. Should feel a nice stretch right here. You can rock if that feels better. Sometimes the rocking kind of loosens up the muscles a little bit. Plus it massages your lower back. Cross the knees over each other and pull in. Again, it's right here where you should be feeling all the stretch. drop them and cross. Bring your knees into your chest. You can bring your forehead to them if you'd like. And then let's just roll out that lower back. So 5 times in one direction. And let's go the opposite way. Okay, now we're just going to put our arms out. Knees are still into the chest, and the arms are going out to the side. You can put the palms forward, up, facing the ceiling. We're going to drop our knees over to the right, trying to keep my left shoulder on the ground. And then I'm going to bring that palm over. Now I'm going to bring it back. Now I'm going to bring it so my palms come together and back. And your knees might have to come up a little bit to get that shoulder, left shoulder down. Up and back. And now we have our palms together. And this time we're just going to bring the arm overhead, flip it so the palm now is facing forward and over to the side, back. Let's do that again. Flip it. And one more time. And then come up and let's go to the other side. So my palms are both facing up. I'm gonna have the knees go over to the left. Bring your palms together and have your hand come. We're gonna go side to side. And one more time. And you see I'm bringing my knees up a little bit so I can get that shoulder down. And then we're going to go up to the top, flip my hand, and come over. And flip it, back again, flip it, and one more time. And back. And come back to center, and if you want, let's just roll 3 times. And the opposite way. Put your feet at the edges of the mat, and let's just windshield wiper. You can have your palms up or down. So I'm dropping my knees left and right. 2 more times each side, and 1 more time. Okay, roll over to the side and let's come up. Okay, let's stretch out our neck. So I'm gonna have my left ear go to my left shoulder. I'm gonna take my left hand, put it on the top of my right ear. Bring my right arm out and roll my wrist. I'm not pushing my head down. I just have a little bit of weight on it. And the other side. And release. Turn my head so my nose is facing down. Hand is in the back of my head. And take a couple of breaths here. And come up. Again, put your ear to the left shoulder and look up. And release. Grab a ball. And again, ears to the left shoulder. And I like to press the ball in and just roll up and down. These muscles in the front and just go around. So I'm pressing in and rolling. I really find these muscles in the front of my neck are always so tight. And like right here. Okay, let's come up and the other side. So here, right arm up over my head. Bring this arm up and roll your wrist. And the opposite direction. Turn your head so your nose is facing into your armpit. Come up. Again, ear to right shoulder and look up. Come back down, grab the ball. Again, ear is to the shoulder. Press in and just roll up and down. Okay. And then come up and look over your left shoulder and your right. Left shoulder and your right. And one more time, left and right. Intertwine your hands, put them behind your head and press down. Up, grab your shoulders and your neck and look up. Take your right arm, cross it over to your left arm, cross it over to your right and brace it with your left. Look over. Your left shoulder should feel a stretch right here. A little bit in our shoulders. And breathe. Do the same thing with the right arm. Look over your right shoulder. Take your hand, put it behind your back here, your left hand, and pull your your elbow back. And release. Other one, same thing. Lift your shoulders up and down, up and down. And one more time. Take if you have a rolling pin or a stick, put it right in the middle of your back. Grab the bottom of it and let's just roll out that shoulder. You can get right into the shoulder blade, just roll. If you don't have this, you can use the ball. You just can't go as far. And let's take the other one, do the same thing. Let's take the stick on our knee, and I'm just going to roll my forearm and my wrist a little bit. Other side, same thing. Now this you can do with the ball. Just make the ball go up and down the forearm. Just do that like this, up and down. Or you can just go like this. Or you can even use your roller to do that. Let's just do our wrists, pull our wrists back and down and forward. Just back and down and forward. Bring your hands together, your forearms together, drop your wrists. Intertwine them and roll them the other way. And open and close. Put your fingers on your shoulders here and bring them together and back. And roll them forward and roll them back. And roll them back again. Okay, now just relax and let's see, I have 2 endings here. The one is, let's just do this lotus meditation. And remember, this lotus meditation, we just have a lotus flower like this. We do that with our hands. You can do this you can lay down on your back and do this and just have this by your heart center. And this helps us to move from darkness to light. So you can open your flower buds and you can rise up and honor your loss. Love still remains within you. And this meditation does not have numbered steps. So once you begin, the meditation follows your thoughts and lasts as long as you want. I'm just going to go through a little meditation though that I have here. So without the mud, there would be no lotus flower. Making use of the sludge, the lotus grows and blooms into a beautiful and fragrant flower. The blossoms close their petals at night and reopen in the morning sun. There is constant resurgence and renewal, a reinvention of expression, even in muddy and difficult environments. Lotus blossoms move forward and express their unique beauty. This muddy existence is a gift for the lotus, as the roots draw in sustenance from the murky waters below to sustain the flower. In your dark night of the soul, allow yourself some grace. Push away the pain of the world and find safety in the protective inner cocoon. Even when you close your buds to find renewal, life continues, and once you've rested, you can find the courage to slowly reopen to life. Hope for brighter days. Believe that your suffering will bring deeper meaning into your life, even though the muck feels like quicksand. You can rise above the suffering. And the last thing is just lay on your backs, be comfortable, or sit in a chair. And this is just our restorative prose that embraces a deep stillness and rest. Let your thoughts, emotions, breath, and body sensations merge into an experience of oneness with all that supports and surrounds you. This surrender technique often softens your mind and body. You're not the only person after this with this heartbreak and trauma. Amidst the loss, you can awaken to new possibilities. You can stand back up and move through the pieces of your life that are broken or overwhelming and tap into deeper resilience, maybe even learn to laugh again. You have a choice how you move off the mat and into the world. The step of evolution explores a way to move forward in life to transform life and loss into empowerment. Let's just take a couple breaths. Inhale and exhale. And you can do an audible breath. Inhale and exhale. And one more time. Inhale and exhale. And then when you're ready, just feel free to come back into the room.